So today we'd like to welcome Daniel Sternklar. He is an entrepreneur, software developer, workflow analyst, database designer and programmer, a web community builder, data visualization specialist, digital artist, interactive multimedia developer, videographer, animator, virtual set creator, a director, a producer, a musician, a composer, a stereoscopic multimedia and virtual reality pioneer, and business growth facilitator with over 4 decades of experience. And today, Daniel is here to share the newest technologies to grow your business level. So let's please welcome, by putting our hands together and welcoming Mr. Daniel Sternklar.
Okay, well, one of the things I wanted to do at first was sort of, because I have such a limited time here, which I am thankful for, is just sort of a quick overview of some technologies that many of you may not be familiar with. And let's go through and do that. So for instance, right now, you're probably noticing what I'm sharing on the screen, and was also my background earlier. This is actually one of our virtual reality meeting spaces. This is not just simply a background. It's actually a space I can move around in freely. And you know, the way Zoom has meeting spaces, these are our breakout rooms here. There are actual rooms, and this is a multi-user environment, and you could come in here, you'll be represented by an avatar, and people inside each room can't hear each other. They're actually isolated spaces. And in fact, if I'm just standing out here and everyone was talking in there, I wouldn't hear a word. And that's how we set it up. These little blue lines indicate the spaces that are actually separate from others. And as you can see, I can move around freely. This is one of hundreds of different spaces that we have. This is a big video conference room that we have here. And we can put all sorts of icons, you know, to click on and go places. Interestingly, we can bring in 3D models. And a while back when Jurassic Park was released, I had to bring in my dinosaur model, of course. And you can see it's an actual 3D model, because as I walk around it, I'm getting all the different perspectives. And as you saw earlier, I can just hang all sorts of content, you know, right in the middle of the space, whether it's videos or images or whatever it might be. Oh, and actually what you're seeing there on the top left is I can actually take a photograph and turn someone into a 3D avatar. As you can see there, I actually took a photograph of myself and showing that it's really 3D because I'm rotating it. You can see all the perspectives. And also, once I've done that, thanks to other AI technologies, my avatar can now speak 100 languages. So I got an instant upgrade. And you'll see later, we actually have technologies to do translations of video. And that's actually really important. We had a client that we were actually a client where we were shooting on location, which these days is kind of rare because we have such a huge library of footage. But I said to them, you know, why don't we shoot a version in Spanish? And at first they were like, well, we don't do work in Spain or Mexico. And I was like, well, you have a Spanish community like 5 miles away from you. How about speaking to them? And they didn't say yes, they didn't say no. It just sort of hung there. And on shooting day, it turned out the spokesmodel I brought with me was multilingual. And she was such a pro. We got done early, and I posed the question again. And they were like, well, okay, since she's here, let's go ahead and do a Spanish version. And the punchline to that story is they got a higher engagement and response from the Spanish-speaking community than the English-speaking community. And they actually got more sales there, and they were totally shocked about this. So, of course, in Canada, you know, French is a big, you know, area as well. So I just want to sort of relay that at times you may want to consider having multi-language content, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you're working internationally. And I guess I should mention that we are based in Maryland, USA, New York, and Burbank areas. And we've worked globally almost since inception about over 40 years ago. How the time flies. Also in this environment, what's neat is I can actually bring in full-blown browsers working right in the virtual environment, and I can actually, click and use them as normal. And you saw the video room earlier, and we can actually bring in video feeds. So in fact, let's see, well, I guess I'll show you later. I guess I can't expand the Zoom at the moment, since I'm sharing, I guess. But in any case, we can do that as well. Now, we actually came up with a rather unique concept to show some of our interactive video technologies. We have typical web page where you embed several videos right after each other, or you could do a slideshow of them, or various patterns and so on. But I wanted to do something a bit unique, so we came up with this concept of having a 360 3D showroom that's actually interactive. So once again, this isn't just like a little animated background. This is actually an application. So I can actually once again move around here at will. And then we have little icons here. We're going to actually play those video demos right then and there. And then we set up different rooms. And galleries. And in fact, in our gallery, we actually have more demonstrations in here than we actually do in the various web pages. So this is another 3D model that you can walk around in. This one is actually single user instead of multi-user. And these little icons on the floor are how I can walk around. And also here, besides interactive videos, we sort of showcase two interactive agents. So these are AI avatars. And I sort of have two different extremes here. We have hundreds of these characters and goodness, hundreds of different voices. This is my dramatic guy.
Are you struggling to grow your business? Lying awake at night worrying about your future? View 3D.tv.
And then I decided I made a soft-spoken gal.
Are you struggling to grow your business? Lying awake at night worrying about your future? U3D.tv has helped businesses for over 40.
So what gets interesting about these intelligent agents is, besides being spokespersons, they also can help you personalize content and even personalize emails, where you might do an email campaign, and instead of sending a typical text email or even something with graphics, things can be actually set up where you might have, let's say 5,000 people, 5,000 different names, that when you set up the campaign, these people, these avatars will actually say hello to each person automatically. So it's another way of helping people relate more to you, feel more connected to you, more engaged. And when it's personalized, they feel like it was made for them. And we'll get more into that later with personalized video. And what's interesting about this, and this can happen to any of you when you're doing something in business. Sometimes you do something for yourself, and guess what? It actually becomes a product. And that's what happened to us here. We happen to have some interactions with other videographers and artists, and they're like, hey, could you set up one of those rooms where instead of each station being a different video, how about showing different artwork of mine, or maybe different videos of mine? And suddenly we have this interactive environment that anyone can use. And just like I have the little icons to play videos, you'll see later with videos, interaction videos, that we can place icons here for various destinations, all their social media links, a buy now page, downloading case studies, making phone calls. it's pretty much endless. Basically, any kind of button you can usually put on the web page, we can put inside these environments, or as you'll see later, our interactive videos as well. And then we had some network groups and wanting to feature different businesses at each station, or companies wanting to feature different products. So it's just kind of interesting that sometimes you create something maybe for your own purposes, and you may actually have a hidden product in your midst that you can wind up selling. So that's something to keep in mind in general. Now there are other, let me see, I'll have to go back to not sharing for a second, because I just have this set up to go behind me at the moment. Is show you a whole other environment where you can interact virtually with other people. Is we call this a spatial conference. Hopefully you can see that behind me, or I'll move myself out of the way. And what's interesting about this environment is all the participants are represented by holographic avatars of themselves.
Very cool.
And you can move around, and you can have multiple rooms. And this was with a toy company. As you can see, what's interesting is, once again, I have 3D objects I can place in here. But now this is very unique in that I can actually manipulate them. I can hold them, I could play with them. And this type of technology is great for anybody. You know, if you're designing a new medical instrument, you're an architect working on a building, you're a furniture place, you know, trying to maybe design custom furniture or just show it off. And the other thing that's actually interesting about this environment is I can make changes to that toy and then actually send the file to a 3D printer and then hold it in my real hand. So I can actually create something in the virtual space and then hold it in my actual real hand in real life, as they say. And this is not something happening 20 years from now. It's happening now. And also, that maybe that's another thing I really wanted to relate is, when it comes to virtual reality, a lot of people think right away more in terms of gaming, you know, shoot this, shoot that. It's way more than that. It can be a collaborative environment. There's research going into helping dementia patients, pain management. The list is just endless. Okay, let me go back to sharing the screen.
Very cool.
Wake up, Zoom.
Oh, maybe because I've got you on Spotlight.
No. It's just taking a minute to come up. Okay. Now, when it comes to other things that are rather, in fact, are you still there?
Yep.
Oh, okay, because Zoom just told me it died.
Nope.
But, all right. I'll
Close
just
my
like put that window down, and hopefully
There we go. I'll go like that so you can see. Oh. Luckily, no, we're still here. Oh. And you're still here. You're on mute now, though, Daniel.
Yeah, I guess the share screen died. Okay, let's try it again.
Okay.
Oh, actually, maybe it's good because I forgot to share my sound before. Yeah, actually, let me show you something real quick. We work also with something called augmented reality. Oh, there it is. And we have actually constructed something that we call an augmented reality business card. And I'll give you the link to that in a minute. And actually, here it is in use. I put it out in my deck.
Right.
And it's actually interactive. All these social media icons. So you would visualize this on your phone, or if you have a tablet, you could actually put this card on your desk, on the floor, or in my case, I put it outside of the deck, so I have the woods behind me. So if I click the Facebook icon, it would take you to my Facebook page. If you click the phone icon, it would actually call me.
Wow.
And if I click the little business card, it actually goes to our website and so on.
Very cool.
And let's see. I'll put all the links, eventually in the chat, because actually we have our link directory. But if anyone's bored with me acting away here, they can scan this QR code and actually run that on their phone. If you have enough resolution on, if you have your phone and you're watching this on the computer. But we also give the link on this page as well. So if you're on your phone, you can just click and go there. But it's an interesting concept because it's very engaging. It's something new. It's something memorable, and people can actually get real information from it. And I guess you could say it's very environmental. Don't have to hand out business cards anymore. They can put it anywhere they want. You can also pinch and zoom and make me, 20 feet tall. So it's a lot of fun and something that's actually practical because it actually gives information in a new way. Okay, let's, because of limited time, I guess I'll go right to, well, okay, one more, maybe two more things. Is everyone knows they need to be active on social media. The problem is, what do I post? What the heck do I write? And when you look at that blank page staring at you on the screen, it can be incredibly intimidating. Well, here's one thing actually you can do without even utilizing us or any services like that is think about this. What's really important is no matter what your field is, what kind of questions are people asking about the field that you're in? Whether you're selling a particular product, if it's health products, if you're a CTO, maybe you need to, people are asking, well, what does a CTO really do for me? And the list goes on and on. When you answer those questions that people are asking, it's a triple win. You're helping those people because you answered the question. And guess what? Google loves it when you create content answering people's questions. So you get more traffic. Also, it helps build up your credibility with people. Think of your website in general. Here's something I tell a lot of people. Think of your website in a whole different way. Change your frame of reference. Everyone is concerned, do I use WordPress or this CMS or do I write raw code? Do I go to Wix? All these different places. What colors do I use? What's my branding? And a lot of people think branding is just logos and text. It's way more than that. But when you start answering people's questions, that helps build up your reputation. And think of your website like this. You now own a multimedia empire. You own a TV station, a radio station, a newspaper, a magazine, and a university. And the university says any courses you create, we'll add that to the syllabus. The TV station says any video content you create, we'll put it on the air. And think of your online presence in that way. I think is a nice paradigm shift in terms of getting you thinking, what kind of content should I put out there? And the fact that I can, and it's available to anyone. And that's where content's really important. And so one of the things that we devised using AI technologies is we can actually send our AIs out to the internet to research topics. And for instance, here's a report that we get back that we did on text marketing. And we actually go to all the different social nets. We see what Google has in mind. We go to various forums, news sites. I mean, the list goes on, and we get all kinds of different statistics back. But what's also really neat about this is not only do we get results back of like what the headlines were for that topic, we can actually access each of those links individually. So this becomes a huge information resource. We can like find out everything we ever want to know about text marketing. And you might actually learn a lot of things about even your own field. Maybe you'll see other people you can collaborate with you never thought of. Maybe some of the questions being asked are like, wow, I need to orient my business and my marketing to hit this pain point for people. And we do all kinds of detailed analysis and statistics of, what the search volume is and what the price per click might be. Also, we have several different reports that talk about the questions being asked. This is a very brief version. So once again, when you see the questions people are asking, that's incredibly helpful. Also will help you being more confident when you're in front of people, because when you meet a new prospect, guess what? They may have that question, and now you're prepared because you saw it was out there. And we even get to the point of diagramming relationships between words and key terms. All your SEO people out there will love this. So that's another thing that these reports help with. And so we actually utilize these reports when we make content, because we know we're making content people actually want, instead of just blindly, well, maybe I'll write an article about this, which might be okay, but oh, I'm actually answering that question. That is right on target. That's what we need. So we've come up with several different interesting technologies, interactive video technologies, as we call them. A big problem with video is the control of the video viewing experience is computer controlled for most people. And sort of subconsciously, people don't like that. They want to be able to see what they want to see, when they want to see it. And there are companies that make the mistake of, oh, we'll make this video about us. Like, goes on for a while. We talk about, offering A, B, C, service D, and so on. A prospect comes to your website. They're interested in service, H that you have. But, the video starts with A and then goes to B. And before C plays, they left the site. You didn't tell them what they wanted to know. So we came up with various interactive video technologies. This one is called Interactive Video Pathways, and it puts control of the viewing experience back in the viewer's hands, where they can choose what they want to see. Questions can be asked, and then depending on the option that a viewer clicks on, the story goes in that direction. And also think more in terms of creating content that isn't necessarily just strictly this and that fact, or buy this, buy that. Tell more a story of how things are used. For instance, in this case here, we call this a simple 2-level interactive. This was made for typical breakfast cafe. And let's go ahead and play a little bit of this.
Welcome to our breakfast cafe.
Now you can see right away that we have lots of different interactive objects on the video. We have a button. The person can actually make a phone call right off the video. Probably in the case of the breakfast cafe, you want to call it a breakfast cafe. All these are buttons for social media links, even Messenger, or any other links that you can think of. So I can click on the Facebook link and wind up at Facebook there eventually. We won't wait for Facebook or Twitter and so on. Also, maybe you might have links for downloading a case study, signing up for a webinar, and the list goes on. And let's go ahead and play a bit more here, and then you'll see the pathways concept.
Hey, we want to give you a special discount coupon to prove we have the best breakfast in the area. And we want to make it personal, just for you. So tell us, what breakfast from our menu would you most like to try?
And I'll be in a sweet tooth mood, so I'll click on pancakes.
Everybody loves pancakes. Coming right up. Just let us know where to send your special discount coupon, and we look forward to serving you and your friends real soon. Where do you want us to send it?
And here's another great feature, that inside the video itself, we have a lead capture form, which of course can be connected to your typical CRM, autoresponder, etc. In case you don't know what any of those acronyms mean, basically it's a way of getting that information to a system of your own, and then you can automatically send an email back if you wish. So for a breakfast cafe, more than likely, as they fill this out, hit submit. Guess what? The autoresponder sends back immediately a coupon inviting them to come and get, a free side dish or whatever the promotion could be. So this is something that's incredibly powerful. Instead of being a passive experience, we now have an engaging experience, and also the retention is much higher. People remember, I clicked this, I clicked that. Also, we work with a lot of coaches, for instance, or just other people in general that have online courses. Most of them, unfortunately, they're using YouTube videos. Well, it's easy, it's free, so I understand. But we actually convert those or upgrade those to be interactive experiences. Now the retention is so much higher. It's amazing. And when the retention is higher from a student's point of view, they feel more satisfied with the course. And guess what happens? They come back and pay for more courses. And your own schooling there, your own online university grows immensely. And it really helps everybody. And this technology can also be used for training. We can put overlays on objects, and you can see how long we've been doing this. Here with the old S6 intro to learning how to use your camera. So we can do something really simple. We can put hotspots on the phone.
The Samsung
and have
Galaxy
people
S6
learn
makes capturing
how to
high-quality
use the
photos
camera feature on the
faster than
phone.
ever. You can open the camera with the camera icon, or you can open it with the Quick Launch feature that lets you open it from any app or screen by pressing the home button twice.
So now I can try it. So I'll go ahead and try that icon.
From here, you can take a picture or video.
So once again, it's an interactive, engaging, high retention rate. It really helps people how to learn that product. Also, we've done this for all kinds of industrial equipment. The list just goes on and on. You could also even do simple things. If you had a newscast, you can make the typical lower thirds where they say the reporter name is so-and-so. You can make their name clickable. So it doesn't necessarily have to be an overt button or have, little icons on top of it. A lot of people have been doing podcasts where they interview somebody. And one of my pet peeves about podcasts is at some point, the interviewer says, "Oh, how do people get in touch with you?" And they write off an email address. My website is, HTTP, 80 characters later. They're a book author and, they write off their link to their book, and you just can't keep up writing this stuff down. And people tend to not necessarily, look for details and descriptions, or if they're on mobile, it sort of makes it even harder sometimes for some, to try to figure out where I can cut and paste and all this sort of thing. So using our Pathways tech, we do something really simple.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Take 5.
We put buttons right on the video for those destinations.
This is part
So I'll
2.
skip ahead here.
Piece out of the work that I do.
So I can click
And
on
I
buy
found
the
that
book
there's
link,
really
and boom, I'm on their Amazon page. And what's cool is when I close that tab, I actually
two
don't.
reasons
I
for
had
that.
not lost
One
my
is
spot
that
in the
the
video.
job
I
might
can
not be a
continue
good
from where I
fit for
left
their
off.
natural income.
So to me, that makes a podcast like a million times more useful. Where you can have those clickable buttons on the podcast, even for the interviewer as well, as you saw there. And we actually had an unofficial case study where someone did a typical YouTube, interview podcast, and they happened to do it with someone who used our technology, and her sales were just through the roof in comparison. Because people are just like, oh, curious, I'll spontaneously click. Why not? But if they have to sit there and figure out where is the description, cutting and pasting, it doesn't happen. And if I told you how much more sales you had, you wouldn't believe me. So I'll just leave it at that. Now we have another interactive technology. It's really interesting in that it incorporates a lot of interesting technologies. We have dynamic voice technologies incorporated within it. It can be used for inbound or outbound marketing. So for outbound marketing, for instance, you want to do a campaign to, let's say, 10,000 people. And except the difference is when each person views the video, you want them to see their name in it. Or maybe other details, maybe their pet's name, maybe their wife's name, whatever details that you have in your CRM. Well, normally you would have to create 10,000 videos, which will take forever. So we devised a technology where we create one video, and when someone clicks on that link or typical thumbnail link in an email to view the video, in real time, we actually integrate that information for that viewer. So they will not only will they see their name, we have what we call dynamic voice technology. They will actually hear their name spoken. So for instance, when I click this video
Do you need a specialized service, Daniel?
And this is now for inbound marketing. Well, one more thing, actually, before I go to inbound, is something else you can do as well, besides integrating with whatever info you have in your CRM for outbound marketing. I want to mention this first for inbound is we can also put what we call a gate in front of the video. So I can actually have a form that somebody fills out. And now whatever information is in that form, we can integrate into the video in real time as well. So for instance, we had a chiropractor who actually asked for more than just name and email. He asked a couple, medical things as well. And that was actually incorporated in the video. Now, because we do an awful lot of work in social media, we were like, well, wouldn't it be interesting if we can actually integrate people's social media profile information into the video in real time? And thankfully, we have agreements with Facebook and LinkedIn, which is very unique. We can actually integrate their social media information, all with their permission. If you try it yourself later, you'll see. And we can actually get a person's name, email address, location, and image from either LinkedIn or Facebook and integrate that into the video in real time. And not only is that sort of like, oh, gee, that's kind of cute, it's fun, but there's something we do at the end with that information that just makes LinkedIn, Facebook consultants, when they meet with us, fall off their chair, and you'll see. So when I started playing this video, notice my name is there, my image is there. That actually came from my LinkedIn profile. Now, if you go to this web page and give your permission, you'll see your name and image appear in the video, and you'll hear your name spoken. And here, I'll try to skip around here a little bit of time.
Friendly and responsible, our reputation is unbeatable.
Is the audio coming through okay for the videos? Okay.
We have locations in the Silver Spring, Maryland area.
So notice it knew the location, and we have various AI voices, as you heard. Now let's skip towards the end here.
Daniel Sternklar, please submit your name and email, LinkedIn at view3d.tv, for more information.
So
Thank you.
Here's the kicker is, once again, we have a lead capture form, typically at the end of the video. But notice, name and email is filled in automatically. And once again, if you do this little process yourself, you'll see your name and email appear. So now all the viewer has to do is hit submit, and boom, they now have a new lead, a new prospect. And the fact that they actually click there, sort of, that already is sort of a first level filter to filter people. And I show this to LinkedIn, Facebook consultants, they go crazy. They're like, do you know how many thousands a month we're spending on campaigns just to link a name and an email together from people on LinkedIn? They see this, they're like, when do we start? You're going to send me thousands a month. So it's a really unique way to get that information. And also the fact that they're submitting it and they see their info there, there's a high confidence in their interest level. Now back to AI technology, and there's been so much talk about it. And you can do a lot of fun things with it too. For instance, I just showed you, the little intro into personalized interactive video. Well, imagine what I did is I asked one of our AIs, well, why don't you talk about personalized interactive video benefits, but in the style of Shakespeare? And I'll display a little bit of this.
The power of personalized interactive video. Wherefore art thou so effective in the realm of marketing? Let me count the ways. Thou speaketh directly to the viewer, addressing them by name and tailoring the message to their specific interests. I engage the viewer with questions and choices, making the experience feel more like a conversation than a lecture. I offer the opportunity for personalized calls to action, leading to higher conversion rates.
Anyway, sort of get the idea there.
Very cool.
That's myself once again converted to a little AI agent. And that's something else to bring up as well. What I mentioned way back was actually being more creative with your content. I mean, it doesn't mean you have to write your content in the style of Shakespeare, but think more about, like I said, stories, how other people would relate to your content. I mean, we actually done videos that was sort of more, story bound. I remember, for instance, Maxwell House, when they did an ad for their coffee, it was all story bound. For instance, one of the commercials was, you saw a dad cleaning up in the kitchen, daughter runs in the room. Oh, we just got engaged. And you see them, talking and drinking coffee. And like the last 3 seconds, they zoom in to a jar of Maxwell House coffee. So the commercial was not, we have the best beans. Our flavor is fantastic. We grow here, there, and everywhere. And yes, you do want to have content like that, but think about also having creative content where you're evoking more a connection to your audience versus always just strictly the facts. Now, I mentioned earlier, we also have AI technologies to translate video. And it's rather unique in not only how we do it, but how we display it. We actually have a running transcript here. Let's play a little bit of this guy.
View3D.tv is a digital creative services and business consulting company.
Now, what's interesting about that voiceover, that is actually one of our AI voices. How far they have come from the Stephen Hawking sounding days.
Yeah.
And I can actually click anywhere on the transcript.
We serve, care, and inspire our clients.
And the video will skip to that point. And I can also do searching if I wanted to search for a particular word. And we can even set it up where the video is downloadable and the transcript is downloadable. But here's where things get interesting. If Zoom doesn't steal all my bandwidth here. Guess it did. Is I can actually click on a different language. There we go. Let's see. Okay. It's trying to run while Zoom is crashing. Okay, there we go. So now I have French.
View3D.tv est une société de services créatifs numériques et de conseils aux entreprises qui conçoit, développe et met en œuvre des stratégies et des technologies de marketing.
And anyway, I think with this technology, I think we're up to like around 50 languages now, doing translations. So yeah, once again, it doesn't always mean it has to be a different country. It could be a neighborhood 2 miles away from you.
Daniel, just so you know, we've got about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't even get to talk about something else, but I'll try to mention it here briefly. And you guys could try this out. And I'll put these links in the chat box here. Is we have a very advanced text marketing system. that does more than just sending a text. You can send marketing coupons, polls, voice messages, have loyalty programs. Oh gosh, birthday wishes, funnels on your phone, autoresponders, and the list goes on. And yeah, we actually have a fun number. This actually spells 19 Superstar 80. It's a good way to remember our number. And if you text AR to that, what's interesting is not only do we send you a text, and also we have multiple numbers, but you'll actually get a phone call, a voice phone call, actually from a different number, because we have some clients where, depending on the campaign, they might have one general number where people can send keywords, but then that may actually run that campaign from a different phone number, and you'll actually get a voice message back. And these are just for illustration, but it will tell you like a few benefits of AR. Or you can text links to this phone number and you'll get our link directory back. And the list goes on and on. So, and also obviously you want all text marketing to be permissions based. They have to opt in. It's the only way to do it. And that's yet another piece of your marketing puzzle.
Perfect.
Look forward to meeting with you guys, and you can get the rest of my 6-hour presentation when you meet with me.